First off, I want to say salute to all of the women who participated in the Women's March. And with that said, however that march was organized or how it was set up to happen, and I guess it was mostly due to, Trump becoming president, some of the misogynistic things he said about women. But my question to America is that why, when we have situations, and this is not to downplay the Women's March or try to devalue it in any situation, but the Women's March was said a women's march. It didn't go by race, class, height, weight, age, and it was just a women's march. So I asked myself, why, when there are injustices in America, that we all just don't get together and advocate for one another? When things happen to minorities, it's always just the minorities majority that's complaining and marching, and you got people doing stupid shit on social media like, oh, don't you have a job, and why are you out here? I didn't see any comments on social media about asking about if these women had anything else to do besides being out here protesting and stuff like that. And this march, to me, it's the same thing that happened in Missouri with the football team, where they were unhappy with some of the things that were going on in the school, so they decided they weren't going to play football. So then the president stepped down and the athletic director and stuff. And they band together to make a point. So, when cops are murdering minorities, and I know they do it to, Caucasian people also, but they just don't put that on the news because they want to keep it separate so that Caucasian people can think that, oh, this is, only happening to black people. And the subliminally is telling you that, well, I'm not black, so this can never happen to me, and the black people that's happened to, they have to be criminals and all this other nonsense. But why don't we just get together as Americans? And the reason why racism exists is through the ignorance of our ancestors and our parents, and media plays a great part in racism existing because the way they do the news. And the one thing that I can't say about being here in America, we're Americans, right? So how about when the news does the news and it does the stories, why doesn't it just say that, well, instead of putting a label on something or, calling it by race, why don't you just say, well, today in the news, an American committed a crime against another American, and go with that instead of saying black. As soon as you say black or white, you start creating division because people, they start to look at the situation from color. And we're human beings before anything else. So I don't understand, well, I do understand why, the news continues to perpetuate the stereotype. But I know why. It's to keep us separate so we don't have to look at the big picture and see what's really going on in this country. And that's what Donald Trump becoming president, it made all women look like, oh, really, this is what we're doing? And one more thing. Let me say this. For all you really smart people who keep on talking about people going out and voting, and for the people or the minorities who didn't vote, is why Donald Trump, as president, stopped it and cut it out and stopped being ignorant, stop saying the same thing over and over again. Hillary Clinton won the popular vote by over 3 million votes, so people did vote. Donald Trump is president because of the electoral states. And do you honestly believe that there were enough minorities in the electoral state who didn't vote? If they did vote, would have made a difference? No. So cut it out. It has nothing to do with voting why. The majority of people voting or black people not voting, whoever it is. It has nothing to do, and it's just more propaganda with that. because we know for a fact that Hillary Clinton won the popular vote by over 3 million votes. So the electoral states is the reason why Donald Trump is president. Duh, cut it out, people. Now, back, once we as human beings decide to stop letting our government, the media, and the elite, make us choose sides and just start looking at each other as human beings, because that's what we are, it's going to continue to happen. So the Women's March showed me, that, we can get together and do stuff, but if we start looking at each other as just being one, because it said Women's March, and it was a gang. It was more women around the world just even than it was at the inauguration period. And I'm not saying that every instance where cops are shooting minorities, that the cops are guilty. I wouldn't dare say that. Because sometimes we put ourselves in situations where things happen. I've been shot before, and I used to blame, the person that shot me for my situation, but I actually made an environment where, I put myself in a position where anything could happen. I survived the shooting or whatever, but, anything could happen. So you have to be aware of the energy and the environment that you're creating for yourself to try to prevent some of this stuff from happening. Now, there are some bad people in this world. There's some racist people in this world. So I'm not justifying any of that. But with that said, and then women, you see how much power you have? In all actuality, if women wanted to, they band together and stop hating on each other and all this other stuff and being jealous, they could actually rule the world. So what we gonna do? Well, heterosexual men especially, we gonna stop. We gonna stop doing without women. No, we're not. So I say that to say this. The labels and separation and how we see each other is the reason why we're in the predicament that we're in now. And kids. I was at the gym the other day, and I'm gonna show you how racism is taught and how it works or it doesn't work. So it was this girl and her mother, and I was sent to the table. I was like, after working out, and she said, "Mom, look at the man. He's in a wheelchair." Now her mother was like, "Hey." But I thought about it when she said it. The first thing she did is she looked at me and she said, "He called me a man because that's what I am." Then she said the wheelchair second. She didn't say the black man. She didn't say the disabled dude. No, she called me who I am, what she saw me as being. Now, I'm sure later on in life, with influence between her parents or through the media, she's going to be like the black guy in the wheelchair, which I'm not black. Look at my skin color. It's nowhere near black. My hair is black. But that's how we should start addressing each other personally in the media and everything else. Men and women and human beings. Because like I said, we bleed all the same blood. Like I said, I done had 7 blood transfusions before, and the bag is one labeled at all. So until we as American citizens stop fighting and bickering against one another, there's always going to be, separation and justice. And Donald Trump, what's next after Trump become president? Have a lion running the country? A squirrel or some shit like that? We are being dumbed down, and we've been dumbed down for a reason. So until we start looking at the big picture, things won't change. But again, salute to all the women who participated in the marches and the rallies. That was a lot of people. And it just goes to show you, once we take labels off of things and stop discriminating against one another and just care about one another and see each other as just being one, then things would be, dare I say, more reasonable and more I mean, the country would be that would make the country great. Matter of fact, to make the world great if we all stopped. You know, religion does nothing but separate people from each other and cause people to want to kill one another over religion. Come on now.